what's our top 5 seeds that you like to plant for fall food plots?
Turnips.
Where would that turnips would be on yours? Turnips is on mine. I was going to say start with those cereal grains. You got your oats. That's probably one of the most common ones we see.
Wheat.
You got wheat. You got rye, cereal rye grain.
Rye.
What's the other? Triticale.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you see make up the bulk of the plot mixes that we see now that people are having success with.
And those are
in the state of Mississippi. And I imagine that goes for the South and even up north in some places.
Those regenerate so well too.
Yeah.
So as they eat,
they can take
graze
that
them
browse.
down, they'll come back. They'll keep coming back. You'll know when they're not browsing because they'll get up and get stalky and get heads on them.
Going next is the purple top turnip.
Well, I say turnips because they used to be so cheap. But what'd you pay for those the other day? They wasn't cheap. I mean, it was.
I think it was around $200 for that bag of turnips.
For turnips?
Turnips.
They have different ones. Now, there's different kinds. I mean, you got rape and kales and all different kinds of brassicas, which is green leafy plants that deer absolutely love that work great in food plots. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we planted just a straight turnip plot, and it might be an acre of turnips. I mean, deer, I don't know what it is. Sometimes areas, people say deer don't like turnips. Every place we planted them, man, they absolutely love them, especially after a frost when those turnips start getting sweet to them. And then the dead winter,
then they stink.
Well, they do, but they pull them up out of the ground and eat the bulbs. If you don't plant them too thick, they'll make great big bulbs. I mean, that's what I like a turnip field.
Winter peas.
Is that on your list? Winter peas?
If you can make them last.
See, that's been my problem. They absolutely love them, and they just won't let them. Yeah. They won't let them stick around.
If you got a half-acre plot, they ain't gonna make it.
Oh no! You better come with some real estate.
I don't know if they'll make it in a big plot. I mean, that's like beans. If they come through and they see them, they're gonna pick them out first. You'll think, well, they didn't come up. They did come up.
I've got your clovers. I love planting clovers for bang for your buck, protein wise, and everything. Clover is one of the plants to plant in the food plots for your fall, but also, you got to do. I like doing the red and the white because you're not going to see the white in the fall. It's going to establish that underground root system. A lot of times you plant it with your grains too. You can throw it in there. That way you got spring clover for turkeys, for those new fawns, and that stuff's going to last. A lot of times you can take care of it, and it'll last you multiple seasons. It'll come back, but that red clover, some of those, they'll shoot right up out of the ground in the fall. You'll have a lot of vegetation for the deer to eat, and they flock to those. There's nothing prettier than a big clover plot.
That's why you hit somebody on the highway. All
they love that red clover, yeah.
Well, we talk a lot about not really bad mouthing them, but mixes aren't our go-to. We've learned that, but
bulk mixes.
Yeah. But if you reach out to a established, I guess, company or somebody like that, and you actually see, like we say, see what they got in it, there's nothing wrong with the mix.
Yeah.
As far as winter plots go, you just need to make sure it's not full of rye. It does have some of them turnips or rape. A lot of the mixes we've messed with, I think, the Delta Plot Plus, it was rape in it, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had a couple of different kind of brassicas in it, but turnips, radish,
and that'll cover all your bases. And most of those, like a quality mix, will have some of the red and whites in it.
That was my number one. Was don't just go one species.
Yeah,
go combo. You want grains for fall. You want grain, and we're going to try it for the summer too, so we can spray that's tolerant. But for fall, you got to have the grain. You got to have some grains. That's going to be your bulk of your plot. That's what's going to tolerate the browse. Got to have some brassicas in there. Got to have some clovers in there. If you got different species of those 3 kinds of plants, you will have a plot that deer absolutely love and will stay in, and they're going to eat it at different times of the year. It's going to come in at different times of the year, but you want to make sure your ratio's right. You can't just, put all grains or it'll choke out everything, and those grains will grow up tall enough the deer will quit messing with them. You don't want to have all turnips because, just the whole solid field's not going to be appetizing to them all year long.